Belante might be the biggest distraction of your week.
What's that?
It feels like Belante might be the biggest distraction.
He always is the biggest distraction of my week. You know, I could deal with my 3 kids easier than I could deal with him. He is a disaster.
Was that though our nickname made up on the spot, or was that?
That was on the spot, and he'll give me credit for that. I've never said that to him before, and we make fun of each other all day long.
We came in here, I'm thinking I'm going to be nice.
You want to stand next to me? You're like killing the show right now, Fat Thor. Come here. I'm going to be him for Halloween. I'm Fat Thor for Halloween for sure. No, he's a huge distraction. Was that the question still? Okay, yeah.
The day before weigh-ins, a little bit different than the last few cuts that you've had on weigh-ins Eve.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. I always look forward to my weight cuts just because if you don't look forward to it, then you're hoping it doesn't come and it's only worse. So I was always positive about it, but now that I'm not cutting weight, I'm like, holy smokes, I was killing myself all those years. I just feel so much better this week for all camp. Just keep my body healthy, and that was the main point of me going up was, I just want to be healthy. I've been fighting injuries my whole career, and I think a lot of that was because I was cutting a lot of weight, depleting my body of what it needs, and so to be at my natural weight, I've never felt better throughout camp, and then also fight week, it's like, wow, I mean, not to be focused so much on how much I weigh every single day and how much weight I got to lose, and just kind of enjoy the process, deal with Fat Thor. It's just, it's a cool experience.
Chris, why do you think it's so hard for fighters to get to that realization, that I'd be better off if I wasn't putting my body through this?
I mean, I think I don't know. I think it's different for everybody. For me, it was just time. I accomplished my goals at middleweight. I became a multiple-time world champion, undefeated for a long time, and then I lost my belt. Then the goal was, all right, I want to win that belt back, defend the belt as many times again. But that goal kind of became like stagnant and I wasn't super excited about it because it was something I already accomplished. So I was just going to let me accomplish it again. But to go up to light heavyweight now, it just gives me a whole, I feel like I'm rejuvenated mentally as far as my goal setting, which I think was a big part for me. For me, my goal was always to be, early in my career, my goal was to be the world champion at middleweight, and my goal was to beat Anderson Silva and beat him again in a rematch. That was really where I seen it going. I was rushed to that point, and all of a sudden it happened, and I'm like, all right, now they're setting me up with Leo Machida, then you got Vitor Belfort, then Luke Rockhold, then I lose my belt. I'm like, all right, I guess I gotta want to win this back and then do it again. And I felt like I was going through the motions a little bit. And I realized that really when I decided to go up. And it was not because of the realization that I wanted to shift my goals. It was because of injuries and stuff. And now that I'm here, I'm realizing wow, I feel like I'm back to where I was started as far as my mindset and what I want to accomplish. I feel so much more set on what I'm doing.
We spoke to Dominic Reyes. I asked him what was the biggest area where you imposed a threat to him. He said wrestling. One, do you agree with that? And then flip it, where do you think he imposes the biggest threat to you?
Yeah, I'm going to say my wrestling and jiu-jitsu are probably the biggest threat for him. And then also just the well-rounded, the fact that I'm a well-rounded mixed martial artist. He's a good striker. That's what he probably brings. That's the most dangerous. I think I fought better strikers. He's bigger than most of the guys I fought, but as far as precision and dangerous strikers, I think I fought more dangerous guys. But I think the fact that he has to worry about the takedowns and that jiu-jitsu, because that could be the end of the night for him, will change the stand-up as well. So I think me just being in the cage with him and having him have to deal with all that multitasking is really the game changer. He hasn't had to deal with that. Sorry. He hasn't really had to deal with that in any of his fights. He hasn't really fought a guy who is well-rounded or has really great wrestling. He got taken down 3 or 4 times from Volkan Ozdemir, who had 1 or 2 takedowns in his entire UFC career before that. He did a good job getting back to his feet. But again, it's not somebody who's going to be as persistent and have the pressure like I bring. We'll see.
You spoke a lot about John Jones, saying one of the biggest motivations going up is to be the guy to defeat John Jones. Two-part question. A lot of people view John Jones as the greatest fighter of all time. Do you agree with that? Second part, where do you think you stand in the all-time GOAT rankings?
Going up to light heavyweight, one of the main reasons I'm excited is definitely because there's a guy there that people think can't be beat, and people consider one of the greatest of all times, if not the greatest of all time. And that's what really excited me when I was down at middleweight. So to have the opportunity to not just shock the world once, but also twice in my career and beat two of the guys that people think are the GOATs, that's the legacy I think I want to leave behind. And as far as him being the GOAT, I think if you look at his record and who he's beat and how he's done it, yeah, he's the GOAT. But then you look and you put the drug testing stuff out there, and I'm not, and I'll be honest, like I'm just kind of like a casual fan when it came to everything that he did and failed. I didn't like read into it like crazy and know really everything behind it, you know, the picograms and all that crap. I haven't like investigated it 100%, but at the end of the day, he's failed multiple drug tests. And I think anytime that you do that, it puts an asterisk on your whole career. And you have to say that. And same thing with Anderson Silva. You know, he's failed drug tests too, and for performance enhancers. And I think that you have to put a question on the rest of their career. It's just like baseball. Besides, this is way more of a devastating sport. You know, we're not just hitting balls over the fence. You know, we're trying to take each other out. So anytime a guy fails a drug test, you gotta, you know, that's a serious thing.
Do you think John Jones is a tougher puzzle to crack than your Anderson fights?
You know what? Yes and no. At the time, so if you look at Anderson Silva now and versus John Jones, yes. But at the time, Anderson Silva had such a mystique and aura about him that was actually greater than John Jones. He was dominating everybody, you know, putting his hands down, playing with them. John Jones isn't doing that. You know, he had two tough fights in his last two outings, and against guys who were middleweights. You know, two tough guys, but he didn't look unbeatable in those fights. Anderson Silva he had like that invincibility feel to him when I fought him. But as far as skill set, it's a very interesting puzzle. Yeah, I think it's more of an interesting puzzle as far as skill set, but not maybe as much as a puzzle when it comes to mindset and like keeping mental focus. You know, like not letting the moment get to you and all that.
Do you think a win over Reyes means John Jones is next for you?
You know, I think there's definitely a good possibility for that, for sure. You know, I mean, given my credentials at middleweight, you know, being a multiple-time world champion and then coming up in weight, going against a guy who's undefeated at light heavyweight, ranked number 4, if I go out there and make a statement and dominate him, because, you know, the other guys in the top 5, you know, from what I'm not good at, I don't look at the rankings and stuff, but from what I'm being told, I think most of those guys already fought John Jones and lost to him. And if I take out the number 4 guy, yeah, and then you look at the skill sets and you put them on paper, and I think I am a bad matchup for him, if there is any, for John Jones.
I heard. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
That was it.
Oh, I was going to say,
Yeah.
I heard you got revenge last night on Volante with that man.
Oh, well, thank you very much. I'm not retweeting your Twitter, okay? I told you I'm not retweeting your tweet. Don't go to James Lynch's Twitter. See, I just hooked you up.
Yeah, that's fine. There you go.
I
I
know, there
appreciate
you go.
that.
I hope no one's watching.
What happened in that game, though? I mean, it was really a beating.
Yeah, shut up, bro. I hate you. Seriously, you're never welcome back. Jim Walter, my manager, invited him to watch me and Volante play Madden, and literally, Volante never beats me in Madden. That's my game. But I haven't been playing that much, you know. And we're playing on Xbox. I'm used to PS4. And all right, he got one on me, and the cameras were there, and I had a meltdown. I had a freaking meltdown. I hate losing, and I hate, especially to him. He sucks. He's so terrible. He runs 1 play on defense and 3 plays on offense. He sucks. But I lost. He had a good game. You know, what can I say? You know, it's a game. You know, it's a video game. Sometimes the computer, you know, messes you up.
You got your revenge, though.
Is that the most devastating loss of your career?
Bro, I'm freaking devastated. You guys, I don't even like talk. I'd rather talk about all my losses one by one right now in fighting than talk about this. Seriously, I'm started sweating. I'm done.
But you beat him the game after, I heard.
Yeah, I did. I dominated him the game after.
What was the score? We need some insight.
I don't remember. 14-2. Got a safety.
When we talked to Dominic Reyes yesterday, and he was talking about your weaknesses, the weaknesses he saw in you, he said that you've taken a lot of damage and you've been getting knocked out. And he also said he wasn't sure moving up in weight would be good in that department. What's your response to that?
So if he's questioning my chin, I think if you look at all my fights, it's not like I'm getting, you know, sat down with jabs or anything like that. I'm not like getting wobbly legged or anything like that. If you look at the 2 fights where I got hit with big shots, it's really it's the Yoel fight and the Jacare fight. And I think in both those cases, it was technical issues that I made. And Yoel Romero, I shot to the wrong side. He was coming off the stool super late in the third round. He looked exhausted. I'm like, all right, listen, one takedown on him, it's over. I shot my head to the wrong side. He came over with a beautiful knee, and boom. I mean, that's a knee that probably knocked out anybody. I didn't go out. I was still moving, holding on to things, trying to go. But, you know, I don't think that's anything with my chin. And then my Jacare fight, that's a fight. He actually hit me with some things in that fight, and no issues at all throughout the whole fight. And then third round, I mean, I'm winning, and he's trying to circle me down. I'm circling out, and I'm like, you know, I'm stopping, going to throw a big right hand. He throws his right hand, and I didn't slip my head out enough, and he connected on a huge shot. And I think it's another huge shot that probably would have put down anybody. So it's not like I'm getting hit with these little clips, and you know, you see me wobbly. Yeah.
Chris, when you're winning, you know how it is. Everyone loves you. Everyone thinks you're the best thing in the world. You start losing, no one's around. No one's, when you start doubting you, you've obviously shocked the world before. What would you say to your doubters now?
Doubters, just make sure you watch on Friday night. I'm super excited to be like, what's up now? Yeah, I just, the doubter, I love having my back against the wall. I love having doubters, to be honest, because I just love to be like, hey, look, you're wrong. But, you know, I'm not cursing, but in my mind, I get a little pissed off, like, what's up? But, yeah, I like it.
Backstage at UFC, it was 238, you were a guest fighter. You seem a little superstitious about fighting in New York again. Is that still the case?
I just told them I knew there was going to be a New York card in November. I'm like, I want to fight in October. I'm ready to go. You know, listen, my last fight was in November, and I was itching to get back in there right away, to be honest, after that fight. I felt great in that fight. You know, it's not like I had a terrible fight. Maybe strategy-wise, especially after watching Jack Hermanson fight him, maybe I should have used my wrestling and jiu-jitsu more. But I felt so comfortable standing with him. I felt like I was picking him apart to where I didn't really need to. But after the fight, I was itching to get back in, and then all of a sudden I had injuries, you know, and I think a lot was to do with like me cutting all the weight I cut and trying to stay super disciplined with food. I think it was just too much, and so yeah, to be back at a normal weight, and I just want to get back in there. I'm healthy and ready to go, so I didn't want to wait till November. And listen, I was all about like Madison Square Garden hasn't been the greatest. It's crazy. I mean, both Yoel Romero and Jacare, I'm winning both fights, and I'm in that third round looking good, and kaboom, in front of a home crowd. I mean, it's a freaking nightmare. So I'm just looking for, I just wanted to get out of that a little bit, get on a plane and fly somewhere, and kind of get back to what I was used to doing when I was fighting, you know, not, you know, yeah.
I know you're not superstitious, but I mean, Boston's kind of the opposite of New York. Do you feel like you'll have your best performance here because it is the opposite?
Yeah, that's the goal. You know, absolutely, man. I want to look, you know, Weidman 2.0 this fight. That's what I wanted to look like in there. And I think a change of scenery, I think, is a good one. And to go to Boston, where like New Yorkers don't go to Boston, Boston guys don't go to New York. It's just kind of like you forget that it's actually 3.5 hour away, 3.5 hour drive. Like I never went to Boston, never even cared about going to Boston. And then when I became a fighter, I came out here for a Reebok thing, and I'm like, holy crap, this is close, and it's really a cool city. It's awesome, people are cool, yeah.
So no frosty reception from Boston fans?
I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. I'm an East Coast guy. You know, I think, you know, I'm not a Yankees fan.
Sure. You
know, I'm a Mets guy. Every time I'm an Islander guy. I'm not a Ranger guy. We'll see. You know. I'm more of a Jets guy. That's kind of the way it goes. But listen, I'm a front runner too. If the Yankees, if the Giants, if the Rangers, I'll never root for. That's where I draw the line. But Yankees and the Giants, whoever's doing better in New York, I usually just jump in. The Bills are never doing that good, so I don't really jump on them. But yeah, for the most part.
Why don't you like the Rangers?
Because I grew up an Islander fan. That was like the one sport we kind of watched in my house. I loved hockey growing up, and so I started with the Islanders. And that was my team. I loved them. And then I remember we were getting fights in elementary school. Like if a kid wore a Rangers jersey, you know, it's like, yo, like there was serious beef. You know, I didn't hang out with Rangers fans, you know, and they didn't hang out with Islander fans. It was kind of like there was a separation there. Yeah, but Yankees and Mets, I never really cared that much, to be honest.
I know Wonderboy Thompson trained with you for this camp, as he usually does. How long did he spend with you for this camp? Because he has his fight coming up in New York.
Yeah, he was just out. a week ago. Not for long. I mean, 5 days or something. It was good. It was, I think just for the both of us, like it's a comfort zone thing. We've been training with each other for a while. He's been really busy. They got a new school. They just opened up, 6th school out in Simpsonville, South Carolina, and so he's pretty busy helping out with that. So he couldn't really come out for too long, but just, I mean, it's not like he's Dominic Reyes at all. You know, it's kind of like just kind of a comfort zone thing. Good training partner. Who's just a good dude to have around.
You mentioned you're a big Goodwill Hunting fan. You're
Oh,
in
yeah.
Boston. Any
Yeah.
chance you tell the boss, hey, how about we get Matt Damon, Ben Affleck in the audience?
Yo, Dana, get Ben Affleck and Matt Damon in the building. Let's go. Yeah, I love that movie, man. Yeah, how about them apples? Yeah, I love that. That movie's freaking awesome because I'm kind of like Goodwill Hunting in my mind. You know, like I'm super smart. So, yeah. But I'm acting like a blue collar guy, but I'm really like just super smart. You won't know it though.
I think that's good.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chris.
All right.
Thank you, guys.